I will call all the dignitaries one by one. So first we have Mr. Arvind Pratap Singh. He's our first panelist. He's a qualified architect and urban planner who blends technical practice with creative sketching and design. He's also the joint coordinator of the Jaipur Sketchers, Urban Sketchers Jaipur chapter, a very active and energetic creative community. For him, sketching is both a passion and important part of the design process. Please welcome, sir. Now, let's call Miss Payal Lulla. Our next panelist, she's an architect and interior designer by profession and an artist by passion. She is part of design department at Ayojan School of Architecture and Design. She has presented multiple solo art exhibitions, worked on wall craft, wall art and truck art projects for interior spaces, and recently launched a creative brand, Pintora, focused on handcrafted and sustainable art. Let's welcome. So, next panelist is Miss Arzu Bajaj. She is an architect by profession and a self-taught mixed media visual artist. She works on freelance architecture projects and actively collaborates with designers to integrate art into built spaces. Her work has been exhibited across major Indian cities as well as in Dubai, and she is also a visiting faculty member at Ayojan School of Architecture. Well, next we have Miss Karima Sani. She is a Jaipur blue pottery artist and entrepreneur who comes from a family deep-rooted in the traditional craft. With a background in international business, she blends traditional techniques with contemporary design, runs her own studio and mentors many students and artisans. Her work represents Jaipur blue pottery on national and international platform. Let's welcome her. Now we have Raj Kumar Jani sir. He is a development and livelihood expert with over 27 years of experience working with micro enterprises, handicraft and rural value chains. He has worked with leading organizations including UNDP, the World Bank and international agencies, supporting enterprises, clusters and creative industries across India. He has also spent many years in water conservation and startup ecosystem development. Let's welcome him. So turns out there is no more space for another take. No, I can stand and take. No issue. It's a part of passion. So today's topic is very near to my heart. How to turn passion into profits, more like money. We all know passion, everyone talks about passion. But the thing is, how many of us even had passion? So my first question, the most basic one, to all of you, what is passion according to you? Is it just a feeling like I want to do something, like I want to play game, or is just something that when we do we can feel goosebumps, like what I'm doing, like anything? So what do you guys think? Let's do one by one.
Okay, great start, I would say, Aditya. Passion can be defined into various ways, like passion. Passion. Now, these are very generic terms, and it is also, I think, individual perception for each of these words. So, my perception of passion, so to say, is my own calling. For example, calling. कई बार क्या होता है कि I think this should be both languages, bilingual. कई बार क्या होता है कि you get inspired, जैसे अभी वो inspiration का session था, just now we have concluded that, by something which is your own, I would say, liking, your own, lot of things, style, your own, I would say, approval for certain things, your own way of looking at things. तो ये सारी चीज़ों को combine अगर हम करते हैं, तो कुछ ऐसी चीज़ें हैं, some things stand out. For example, for me, if I can talk about myself, nature stands out. More than anything else, if you, for example, if I have to go to a gallery of paintings, I would, automatically I would tend to look into the nature paintings more than anything else. So nature is my calling. So that is also my passion. So I'll talk to you about how what I'm doing with my passion. But I think it is an internal calling or internal draw towards something. So that's my definition.
If you want to give just a word to passion, I think for me it's something that you love and truly enjoy to do and practice, and which gives you immense happiness. That's for me it's passion. Hi.
So for me, passion is something, anything for which you are not looking for an external validation. Something that satisfies you for what you are doing. Like you don't want someone else's or others' approval for. So whatever brings that feeling, जो भी है जैसा भी है मेरे लिए तो अच्छा है. I think that's passion for me.
For me, passion is it's actually a love which kind of what we are living with. It's a part of our life. जिसको हमने एक्चुअली अपनी लाइफ का एक पार्ट, बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट पार्ट बना दिया आफ्टर द हैक्टिक शेड्यूल ऑफ आवर ऑफिसेज. उसके बाद भी हम अपना स्लीपिंग आवर्स को कम करके जिसके लिए काम कर सकते हैं. मैं जिस चीज़ को तो दैट इज अ पैशन एंड यू आर एक्चुअली लाइक आर्ट एक्चुअली उसमें हमें बाहर का वैलिडेशन की ज़रूरत नहीं है. इट्स आर सेटिस्फेक्शन, इट्स आर इम्प्रूवमेंट. हम कहीं पे भी उसमें लैग करें हमें पता है हम उसको इम्प्रूव भी करेंगे. सो दैट्स द पैशन.
What I think is passion is basically a state of mind wherein you tend to forget, if you are indulged in an activity, you tend to forget the track of time. You basically go into a state of mind wherein you forget everything and you start, whatever you do, start loving it in a way that there is, when the monk होते थे वो जो करते थे साधना, it is the basically state of mind where you are out of the normal mundane work of the life.
So we all know basically what passion is, how it feels us make good. Now let me tell you something from my own example. So my passion is very strange. Means I love to get examples of different historical battles like Napoleon, Waterloo, anything. I want to imagine how we can win those battles, how better information can work. But at one day when the AI finally arrived, the GPT, Claude, different models were good enough, I started talking to them. I started analyzing better strategies with them, imagining them, and then it hits me. This is something I love. This is very strange thing, but I love, and the time will pass like anything. I can sit alone, I can do things. At that moment, I realized that this thing can be passion. Means take any topic, try to understand, try to solve it, and if you enjoy it, it's your passion. So I wanted to know know from all of you at which moment or a point you realize that this thing is your passion. Not anything, not time pass, not something which releases your dopamine and you feel good. At which point you know that you have a passion and in which you can outflank any one of them. Means you love it so much, you can become a legit expert in it. Let's talk.
Okay, so जैसे मैंने अभी बताया, nature is my calling, nature is my inspiration, whatever. So I think I realized it much earlier in my life, and I think this is a realization which happens unknowingly, knowingly to many people at many times. लेकिन बहुत लोगों को बहुत पहले से पता होता है. I think this is something because passion cannot be developed at a later age. It has to develop at a very early age. तो शुरू से ही मुझे गाँव में जाना, for example, it's a small thing. I used to love the hinterland, as you all say. So I did not get kind of, you can say, a kick. Normally, as we say, that you get a kick while going to a pub or a disco or a mall or something. But I used to get a kick when I used to go away from the city, go to the wilderness, go to the farmers. तो ये जो था ये शुरू से ही था. तो अभी फिर इसके बाद क्या हुआ, एंड आई एक्चुअली कमिंग तो एक ट्रिगर भी होता है, टेकिंग हिज पॉइंट अहेड. So when I went to Africa for the first time, I think I traveled to Africa after a few years of many years actually in Indian rural landscape. तो फर्स्ट टाइम मैंने वेंट टू अफ्रीकन रूरल लैंडस्केप, वहाँ पर भी मैं अफ्रीका में रूरल में काम करने गया था. तो आई फाउंड कि लॉट ऑफ सिमिलरिटीज आर देयर फ्रॉम बोथ द, जो भी अपना नेचर जिसको बोलना चाहिए, नेचर इज प्रिस्टीन इन मैनी वेज, इवन इन इंडिया, इवन ओवर देयर. तो बहुत सारी ऐसी चीज़ें हैं जो एक दूसरे से सिखाती हैं. बहुत सारा ऐसा है कि नेचुरलिस्ट ओवर देयर और द फार्मर्स ओवर देयर और द वाइल्ड क्या बोलना चाहिए इसको, फॉरेस्टर्स जो फॉरेस्ट में काम करते हैं, वो भी बहुत सारी ऐसी चीजें जो एक दूसरे से सीख सकते हैं. बहुत सारा कॉमन भी है, ऐसा नहीं कि एवरीथिंग इज डिफरेंट. तो वहां से मेरा ये पैशन को थोड़ा सा यूटिलाइज करना मैंने स्टार्ट किया. आई थॉट कि या दैट इज वेयर आई कैन मेक अ यू कैन से समवॉट अ कंट्रीब्यूशन, बिकॉज नोबडी कैन बी एन एक्सपर्ट इन डूइंग थिंग्स, ऑल थिंग्स एट वन प्लेस. But whatever from my own knowledge set, if I can contribute to create something over here, taking my passion ahead in some way which can be remunerative for these people. First of all, for these people for whom I am working. If it is remunerative for them, it should be remunerative for me in the process. That is what I thought.
My journey is quite different. It has not always been my passion. Dancer by birth, chose commerce as my field to study. Blue pottery was always around me, so grew and did everything around it. I think sometimes passion is there but you don't recognize it, and eventually it just slides into your life so naturally that you just flow with it. I think that's for me, for my passion, that's the school. When I was in 9th grade, I used to go with my father, being the vocalist to his songs, and talked about his stories about blue pottery. But as I grew old, I saw a lot around things happening in my city and how the craft that my father has been practicing is shaping the narrative of this beautiful city. So when I did my master's in international business, and like every parent has this question for their kids, like, what do you want to do for your future? And I said, I knew what I didn't want to do, luckily. So I didn't want to do a corporate job, so I said no for that. Then my both parents, my mom and dad, were like, why don't you go for a month, see if you enjoy it, do it, otherwise do whatever makes you happy. That 1 month turned into a 9 years of journey now, and I think this is my passion because I enjoy it. As you said, less sleep, but still when you work, you just work. I think that is what makes it so amazing, that less of sleep doesn't bother you much. So yes, that's how my passion story brings me to Blue Pottery of Jaipur.
So for me, passion has a very different journey as you said. What I feel is personally is passion, you sense the passion with the experiences that you have. With every experience you grow as a person, and that's when you realize, like, oh, is this my passion? Is this my passion? Not like this, but what is happening? So when after graduating I started working as an architect, the first project when I did, and the feeling, I think architects over here, they will like very easily understand that the first project and जब उसका foundation lay होता है, and that first time you have those goosebumps. Oh my God, the paper का finally बनने वाला है. So that moment was like, oh, this is it. But then eventually with more experience, you understand how things work and what are your interests lies, so the experiences then afterwards told me कि I think the calling, as you asked, was when I started working on an artwork for my project, and I was literally flowing with my colors. My time, everything, I was just with the colors and everything was flowing there, and that's when I realized, that's when it hit me, okay, this is what feels like a passion. This is what feels like when you are in moment with your work. So I think that was the moment I thought, art is where I want to be.
It's a fantastic answer. You are right. The trance-like state of working. Totally right.
My journey was, I love painting from childhood only. After graduation, when I was working in a corporate sector for 4 years, I worked there. And that was the time when I was working in a hospital project, and I was daily going in a hospitals, and those visits actually made me so depressed of that environment. So after coming from the office, I just realized that something is missing in my life, and I really want to get out of that depression. So then I started with, I want my colors, canvases, and started with paintings. And after 8 or 9 months, I just realized that I have a very big collection of paintings. Now I can showcase that. So that was the time when I was actually coming in front of the society to show my work. And in 2016, I did my first solo show at JKK. And in that also, I was not having any theme. That was something randomly happening in my life. And in that exhibition, it was, I made around 15 to 20 horse paintings. And at that time, I realized that my horse paintings I really love. And after that, I made the second solo show. My second solo show was for the horse paintings, in which I exhibited around 70 horses. So that was the time when I realized that yes, this is the purpose of my life. And now that corporate world, I actually quit that, and I am into academics, and I'm doing the artwork.
I think you will do very well in Mongolia. They love horses, especially the descendant of Genghis Khan.
Very difficult question. Johnny sir started from that point. Only I started thinking, what is my passion? So I do a lot of work, mainly architecture and urban sketches also. But what is the underlying passion? I was trying to figure out what is that. So and that urban sketching started later on. I became architect. Did it as part of my study. But what is that which was existing before I came into the passion? So what I could find is a single word is appreciation. My passion is appreciation. So it's a very different kind of passion, but yeah, it is there. So I can directly relate this word appreciation with music. So if I listen music, I try to appreciate that. If I go to a place, I try to appreciate the overall environment around it. And all this appreciation helped me to design, come back, do what I'm doing. So it's a different answer, but this is what I could find.
It's a very good thing because if you can appreciate a human or any other person, and if it helps to inspire them, they can do wonders. The whole history has taught us that great teachers, great people who can appreciate, and the person who gets appreciated by them can change the course of history. Alexander is one of the biggest example. His teacher Socrates and his mother especially made him believe that he is the child of God, and this alone pushes him to go and win over the Persian Empire and come to the gates of the India.
I
Now,
think there is a special course also there on the appreciation of art in some of the colleges. एक बार मैं एक डॉक्टर राधिका they say something. So she started saying that people nowadays forget about appreciating what we are singing. जो लोग आते हैं वो फोटो खींचने में लग जाते हैं, मतलब चेक करने में लग जाते हैं. एक बार मैं जगजीत सिंह का कंसर्ट भी सुना, तो उसमें he was so irritated in between that people were having chat, food, samosa, chutney. So he stopped his singing and said that दो प्लेट samosa, chai, इधर भी भिजवा. So basically, it's a serious matter to appreciate what an artist is trying to say. You should be at least give some kind of respect to that work. So it's very difficult to achieve also.
you are totally right. Now let's move to the main thing, profits. Okay, having passion is one thing and converting that into a product is a totally different thing. Because to be honest, making money, making profits is another side of business. And when you have to act like businessman, there are certain things which you have to follow. For me, honestly, AI was a boon. Means I can sit all day around making strategies and it won't bring me any money. Nobody wants someone to come and tell that, okay, you have to move this unit here, but you can convert into a game, strategic game, something which people can use, play, understand. So this is one point. Now thing is, at which point did you feel, okay, I love this thing, but I have to do something. Either I can go for a corporate job, I can do something, or I can make money. And making money from passion is a bit tough, to be honest, because having passion is one thing and converting into a product which can be sold, you have to convince people, you have to show that you exist, distribution, many other things. What lesson did you learn when you were trying to convert your passion into something which can be sold? Because to be honest, without money, even the great artists go broke. So yeah, let's talk.
Okay, so I think this is a very pertinent question, how to convert your passion into something meaningful for yourself. I think profit is one thing that you said. I think before profit, something which comes to my mind is profession. How to convert your passion into a profession. Okay, and for example, I can hear all of you that you have converted your passion into profession. That is the reason even what Garima is doing today, it's her profession. She's also an artist, Blue Body. I have seen her hand also. She's an excellent artist. So what I thought for myself, because I was not making anything, I was not a maker. I was a preacher, I would say. I was actually giving consulting, advice. जिसकी कोई value नहीं है. Sorry to say this, everybody can give an advice. लेकिन उसको कैसे convert करें, तो एक छोटा सा example मैं आपको बताता हूँ कि when in Africa, again थोड़ा सा मैं अपना inspiration थोड़ा आगे बताता हूँ आपको. So while working in African forest, हम लोग beekeepers के साथ काम करते थे. Beekeepers, जो traditional hives बनाते हैं और bees अपने आप आती हैं, they make honey and then they go. तो एक छोटा सा वो चीज था, लेकिन there I met with a lady who was actually in my position and in fact I took her position because she was leaving the company. So I heard her. She was a PhD in beekeeping. I never knew कोई beekeeping कोई PhD होती है. But anyway, when I listened to her, she was detailed about the entire science and the art of beekeeping. And she told me, if you think that this is your passion, if you think कि आपको इनके साथ beekeepers के साथ काम करना अच्छा लग रहा है, forest में काम करना अच्छा लग रहा है, you go back and take a degree in it. You know, she kind of put an advice to me. मैं इंडिया आया बड़ा charged up. I wanted to make a career in this. I went to FRI, Forest Research Institute, Dehradun. I found out सब ऐसा करके मुझे कोर्स करना है beekeeping. यहाँ का आपको beekeeping मिलता है, Forest Research Institute में नहीं मिलेगा तो कहाँ मिलेगा beekeeping? तो he said कि सर एक वाइल्ड लाइफ एक इंस्टीट्यूट और है हमारे यहाँ, उधर जाइए. I went there in Dehradun again. तो बोले सर we have yet to start. आपने अच्छा आइडिया दिया है आज, but we have yet to start a course on beekeeping. But beekeeping is a practice. So I said नहीं, I know someone who is preaching and also doing it and also making money. She was also having a business of honey. So she was buying from Africa and she was selling in Europe. वो सब कुछ कर रही थी बंदी, and she is my inspiration. So he said कि ठीक है, आप थोड़े टाइम बाद हम आपको बताते हैं. नोट किया, उसके बाद कभी कुछ नहीं हुआ. एक दो बार मैंने फोन किए and then the passion died. मतलब somehow the passion died. But then I thought to myself कि अब अगर मुझे कुछ करना है, डिग्री है नहीं, PhD कोई कराता नहीं है, तो क्या करें? So I should start working with beekeepers, या beekeeping organization, honey, forestry, and that is when I connected to an organization called Land Accelerator. तो मैं आपको consulting का बता रहा हूँ, मतलब I can only talk about consulting thing. So there I was talking to this lady about my passion in forestry and wildlife and beekeeping and all. So she said कि sir, we are looking for some mentors in sustainability. तब तक मुझे sustainable products और services के बारे में ज़्यादा नहीं पता था. मैं बस अफ्रीका से नया आया था, चार्ज अप था. So she said कि we are looking for mentors. वो दिन और आज का दिन मैं 5 साल से उनके साथ mentorship कर रहा हूँ. And during this course of mentorship in sustainable products and services, I have learned a lot. I don't know how much I have been able to teach. लेकिन अगर वो टीम कुछ एबल नहीं होता कंट्रीब्यूशन, तो शायद मुझे दूसरी बार मेंटर नहीं बनाते. और 5 साल से मैं उनके साथ मेंटरशिप कर रहा हूँ, and I am able to learn, I am able to give something to them, and I am able to create a name for myself as a sustainability practitioner or consultant model. So that's my story.
Only when you go and talk to people about your passion, they will know that certain things exist. And if you are sitting at home and thinking, oh, I can do this, nobody will do anything. It's a great example.
So for me, this has always been a very passionate and personal project of doing and practicing blue pottery of Jaipur. But as my father always says, bhuka prajanna hoega. If we have to live, we have to make money, and that is very important to even sustain. Even if I want to do something for the community and my craft, I need to make sure it is also giving me monetary benefits. Otherwise, in a few years, it will be passion without money. And then that passion will turn into a burden, and eventually you will lose interest in that. So my journey was different. I started figuring out new ways to make money and to promote blue pottery of Jaipur, and the idea also came from the inspiration that my father was already doing, but to put it very concretely in how we can make it a very sustainable and long-lasting project. I think that was me making my passion and converting that passion into a profit-making business. So that is what I believe, a concrete structure. But also one more thing, that consistency is what lacks in today's time. People start something and they want that from tomorrow they want 6-digit, 10-digit numbers and turning the business into a crore rupees. Yeah. But that's not true. It is years of establishment, lot of hard work, lot of patience that is required, and for the craft that I practice, it requires 10x patience, because no matter what you do, what skill God does, you don't know. So it requires really a lot of patience. So I think that consistency and dedication of just showing up every day and just doing and figuring out ways to, do the best from whatever you are doing that can help you make your passion into a very sustainable and profitable business as well. Because if you think that you do something and you don't want to make money out of it, I'm sorry, you are lying to yourself. So yeah, that's what.
Yeah, I think we have to be idiot enough to believe that we can make billions, and then we have to power it up with consistency. Because only an idiot can think about 8 to 9,000 CRs, but we have to work hard for that.
Give me a second, I was about to say that only. My answer. But other than being consistent continuously with what your passion aligns with, it's very important to continuously explore it. Zaruri nahi hai, like if you're an artist, you keep making art that's good, but there are ways to be in the art field and not be an artist. You can be an art curator, you can be an art critic, you can take workshops. So there are multiple ways with which you can monetize and being around the art field. There is a author by the name of Jay Shetty who has written a book, Mom, Think Like a Mom. So he was in a corporate job, but he loved to talk. He loved to talk about what's happening. During his corporate work, he started a club where people are going to share what's happening. Okay? It was during his job time only. So he started with every Sunday. The first Sunday, he was the only one. The next Sunday, there were 3 people. And then eventually, after a year, the company told him to conduct a talk with the employees of the company and give that talk to them. And that's how he came to the path what he's following right now. So if you keep exploring, if you keep working, the paths will show. It's not कि आप बैठे आपको रास्ता नहीं मिलेगा, आपको चलना तो पड़ेगा. Maybe in the wrong direction. It will take you to the path that you have to be on. So if you keep exploring something around what works for you, you will reach there.
I think you are totally right, because sometimes things looks easy, like we can do it. Like, let's take a very strange example, boiling pasta. So there is term called al dente in Italian. So it's like the perfect texture of the pasta after boiling. Even to get it, it's very tough. You have to at least boil pasta 10 to 20 times even to get it. Just think what will happen when you are making a blue pottery or even trying to create a design or whatever. So we have to fail so many times even to get to the point where things can start looking good. That's the right point.
So, as what Arzu said, exploration is very important in art field, and if we are an artist, so we have to be in that particular field. We can do, if I say, I'm taking my example, so I'm doing the wall arts also, I'm into the canvas painting, whatever work is coming, you have to do, you just have to take that risk कि ठीक है मैं ये कर सकती हूँ, क्योंकि जब तक हम नहीं करेंगे तब तक हम नहीं कर सकते. And for we say about the business or the profit thing, so art के साथ वो एक business strategy, finance, उस पे भी हमें learning करनी पड़ेगी if we are going into that profit thing. So still we are in learning phase, वो भी हम लोग कर ही रहे हैं. We are making mistakes in that also. We have sometimes it is a failure thing also, but it is the process. And art is never, it is a never ending process. So we have to keep on.
Of course, the more you try, the better you learn. That's the only path towards mastery.
I think Garima, for what time it turned passion into profit. But I am not at that stage. But I'll tell you something which I recently started around 2 years back. I'm part of the Urban Sketchers group. Every morning, Sunday morning, we go to out location and do the sketching. So around 6 months back, we were sketching in the city palace. I think Yunus was also there. Everybody was there. At the end of the sketch week, what we do is we normally get together and do interactive kind of session wherein we can tell about our experience, about the way we had done this sketch. So after this thing is over, the manager of City Palace came to me. Sir, I want your sketch. I'll put it on my wall. So I was very delighted. I gave him this sketch. He had a group together photograph. I took the photograph of the sketch and gave a sketch to him. So this was the first point that somebody appreciated this sketch. And I got the reward. Not in the monetary terms, but I got the reward. Fine. Around 1 month back, we were sketching at the Siras Haveli. Siras Haveli is there in the outside, just outside the wall. So again, the same group we were sketching, and there was one guest in the Haveli. It's basically hotel. So he was friend of the owner. So again, the sketch meet happened. We did this interaction session. After the interaction session, he came to me. Sir, can you give your sketch to me? I will pay. So I thought, sir, मैंने कभी बेचा तो नहीं है, but I mean, if you like it, you can keep it. So he said that free में तो नहीं रखूँगा, कुछ तो लेना पड़ेगा. So हमारी एक साथी है, उसको मैंने बोला, whatever he gives, you keep that. So I gave that sketch, and later on I found out he transferred 1,000 rupees. Fine. So from nothing I got 1,000 rupees. Fine. Now in March we are having a large division. So I took 2 or 3 my sketches and I went to market so that I can get it properly framed. Fortunately, I went to a person who is doing framing. मुकेश जी सर, आप जानते हैं मुकेश गुप्ता को? So I told him that we are doing one division at the CTK. So थोड़ा framing करना है, low cost framing. So then we started talking about. He looked at my sketch और ये बोला ठीक है, आप इसको JKK में लगा सकते हो. You can put 1,000 rupees का tax print पर इतना हो सकता है, ये है वो है, ठीक है. वैसे फिर उसने बोला कि I have my own art. If you give me your original sketch, I'll put a tag of 10,000. It's fine. So from appreciation to monetary to 10,000, I have not done it. But this is how, I mean, हो सकता है. You can turn your passion.
Yeah, you are right, sir, and that's definitely right. And sometimes when we change land, when we go to foreign land, they appreciate our passion much better and pay us better. So with it, let's conclude this session. It was very great session. Legitimately loved it. Thanks, guys. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Amit, orientation this side.
Sir, 1 second. Sir,
आइए सर, इधर ही आ जाओ आप, आ जाओ.
Sir, 1 second.
थैंक यू सो मच। तो अब हम हमारा नेक्स्ट जो पैनल है, मैं संदीप जी से निवेदन करूंगा कि आप प्लीज मंच की तरफ आए। संदीप जी प्लीज कम हेड टुवर्ड्स द मंच। एंड हमारा जो अगला सत्र है वो अब